Alright guys, I wanted to give you guys an update and a range report from when I went to the range and shot these guns. Now, you've seen a little bit of video that I put up from shooting, but I had my nephew with me that's out of the Marines on leave, and he's getting ready to go back. So I just didn't want to film everything when I was out shooting, because believe it or not, it kind of changes the dynamic when you're trying to film and shoot at the same time and get everything right. And we just wanted to have fun and shoot for a while. So while we did film a few things, we just wanted to more or less put the camera away, you know, and just have fun. So my nephew already left. He's going back into the Marines. He's in the infantry in the Marine Corps, and he's already left. So, but we had a good time, and he really liked the Shockwave real well, as did I. A few of my thoughts on the Shockwave. First of all, when you watch a video like Hickok 45 and how he's shooting it, don't expect that you're going to pick this up and shoot it like that. What I mean is, Hickok 45 was picking it up, putting it up to his line of sight, and looking down the bead like as if it had a shoulder stock on it. Now, you could be able to do that, but I would suggest that you test it out, get used to it, see how much it's moving when you shoot before you try something like that. For those of you that don't know, Hickok 45 is 6'8", and I believe his son is at least the same height. So you just keep in mind, he's a very strong guy, and when you see him do something like pick this up like it's nothing and look down the bead sight like it's a handgun and shoot it, that's not really the way it's going to be for 99% of the people out there. With that being said, it is fun to shoot. I was mainly shooting it below the line of sight, which means I would hold this down. In other words, if I'm looking forward, I would hold this firearm down below my line of sight at about chest height and would shoot from there. Now, if you shoot lower from the hip, you have a tendency to shoot high. That's why you have to train with this. If you train with it, you can be fine with it. I still say it's a good home defense weapon. I still stand by that statement. But as with anything, if you get something like this, train with it. Start off, take baby steps. Shoot it low at the hip. Hold it tight. See what it does. See how it moves when you shoot it. Then bring it up a little bit. See how it moves. Bring the bird's head grip up to your chest. Look over top of the bead, and then see how it moves. Now, that's basically what I was doing. Bird's head grip at chest, looking over the bead, not sighting down the bead. And I found it was really fun. We had a great time shooting it. Okay, next up. Now, the 5B Gunworx, this gun was great. My first time of actually shooting this Glock. I have a lot of Glocks and a lot of G17s, and I just hadn't shot this one yet. I've got the Trijicon HD night sights on there. They were great. And this Glock, I've always noticed, had one of the stiffer, firmer triggers than the majority of Glocks I've ever bought from the factory. And I've never done anything to the trigger in this gun. Could be because the coating is a little bit thicker, and where you have the little bird's head in there that comes up to hit the firing pin safety or the striker safety, that moves along parts in there. I don't know, but this trigger is always kind of stiff. Felt like to me. But surprisingly, me and my nephew were shooting this really good because of the grip we had from what 5B Gunworx did to the grip. It was very much more manageable. It felt easier to control, and it felt like I had a more solid hold on this gun, and I shot this really accurately, even with the trigger being what feels to me on the stiff side. My nephew set up a golf ball and was shooting it with this without a problem, and we had a great time, and it just shot great. I was very pleased. What I would like to eventually get is one of the flat face triggers, maybe the Apex kit, and run a flat face trigger in here, because I'm kind of liking the flat face trigger. Well, let's go ahead and talk about that for a minute. Now, this is my Sig P320 and the new stealth gear holster that I just got and did an unboxing video for. If you want to see this holster and hear me talk about it and see it on me, just go back a couple videos of mine and you'll see it. So here is the Sig P320 that I bought. I'm still very happy with this gun, and I did put on the Apex Advanced flat face trigger. The pivot point's a little bit different, and it makes the trigger pull feel about a pound less than what it is from factory without changing any springs inside. What I can say about this Sig P320, guys, is the trigger pull is phenomenal from right out of the box. And then with this flat face trigger, I've never run a flat face trigger before, and I can definitely see the benefits of that. It seems that when there's a lot more room for your finger, it seems like it's easier to hold the sight steady. Both me and my nephew were hitting very well with this. He was also shooting the golf ball with this, and we were hitting our targets very well without a problem. Had the fiber optic sight, works really well. It's got the tritium insert inside of there. Love it. And we both, I would have to say that we shot these equally as well. And what gave me the edge up, even with a heavier trigger on this, was just the work, the grip I was able to get, the solid feel, the undercut, having my hand up higher on the gun, was able to compensate for a trigger that's just not so great on this particular Glock. So I would say, all in all, honestly, we actually shot these both the same, and this has a phenomenal out-of-the-box trigger. Just, I mean, you would almost think that a gunsmith went over that trigger. So if you have a Sig P320, I highly recommend the Apex Flat Advanced trigger. Very easy to put in, just took me a couple minutes. But this guy here, you take it, and you, number one, because your finger is higher here, it's going to put the palm and the web of your hand higher back here. And as you can see, my Trijicon HD night sights there. So you have a nice high ride, which is more controllable when the slide recoils back. But when we shot this gun, we both did very well. Wherever you squeeze on this gun, and however you do your grip, it stays. Your fingers don't move, they don't slide. When you look, see the little marks? That was pretty neat. I'll show you that in a second here. But when you get that grip and you do like this, it stays. Now watch my fingers, and you're gonna see the basket weave on my skin. See it there? Now this isn't scratchy. It doesn't feel like it is sharp or anything, but it definitely gives you a good bite when you shoot the gun, guys. You guys know me. I've been shooting Glocks for years, and I shot really, really well and better than I thought I was going to with this Glock. And that was because of this stipple job from 5B Gunworx. So everything was great, guys. Everything went real well. I'm considering at some point getting slide work done to this G17. And I'm not for sure where I'm going to send it. I was thinking about Gunworx, and you know, getting the slide cuts milled out, getting an RMR cut, and having a plate for it put back on. And then I was thinking about going with like a flat dark earth camo pattern on the slide, and having all the cuts and everything, and probably some windows in the slide from Gunworx. You guys can give me some suggestions if you want, you know, like of companies you've used in the past and what you think about it, because I'm definitely thinking about that sometime here in the future, not right now, but in the future, that I would like to just go all the way with this and get the slide fully customized. So, alright guys, well that's about it. That's my range report for these three guns. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is H4T. I'll see you real soon, and I'm out.